if you feel like it.
I didn't realize it at the time, but now looking back, it felt like I was sidetracked. I tried to make music that I thought would make me succeed in the music industry. I thought that making pop music and making things that I heard on the radio would make me successful and thus feel fulfilled. But at some point, it started feeling more like I was going into the studio to work instead of going into the studio to create and have fun. But during Christmas holiday, I went into the studio with only one rule: no rules. And what I created was groovy bass lines, unintelligible vocal chops, and nothing even close to a pop arrangement. I was feeling this so much. I was so excited, and I directly sent it to Sven, who later became my co-producer on the album. And I sent it to him. Hey, listen to this. What do you feel about this? And he replied back, this, I want to work with you on this. And we started talking, and we also started discussions with Fashion Police Records, who later came to sign the album. So let's talk about the process. How did we create the album that is called now The Unknown Sea? But before we talk about the process of the album, I need to talk about a gig, because this gig is crucial to how we then created the album. I have been for a long while working on a live looping setup, and I got a gig booked in Finland, and I finally felt ready to take this live looping setup on stage. And I also reached out to Sven and said, hey, do you want to join me on stage to perform at this gig in Finland? And he said yes. But we didn't have any time to rehearse at all. So we worked separately. We didn't even work separately. We just freestyled it. I created a lot of these electronic concepts that I was working on, put them into a live project that I could arrange on stage, and then Sven freestyled over this, and I looped him, and the entire thing became a sort of improvised electronic set with a jazz influence. But the jazz influence was not in sound, the jazz influence was in playstyle. Sven played a riff and I responded to it with another melody, and we looped it, and it was a fun. If music is a language, me and Sven talked the same language on stage. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And at that point, I realized we need to figure out how to capture this human interaction and feeling in the album. But the thing is, me and Sven both live very busy lives. So a majority of the time we were working online over Zoom and working on details and working on the songs. And we tried to recapture that human live thrill online, but it didn't feel genuine. It felt like we tried to replicate something that was so genuine. And at this point in the journey, Fashion Police Records, the label, was on board with the album. They had signed it and they were supporting us. And Niklas, the head of Fashion Police Records, said to us, maybe you actually need to be in the same room and make it be in a similar scenario as it is on stage. We brought the crew together to Fashion Police Studios in Stockholm, and for every song idea that we had on the album, we did a 10 to 15 minute improvised jam. But we made sure that we filmed everything and we had the crew in the room at the same time. So it was live, it was still that nerve that we had on stage. And we improvised for 10 to 15 minutes per song, and we saved everything. And then we went back to working remote. Now we had all these pieces, these improvisations that really felt human. I can't explain it, but it feels like you can hear that me and Sven were playing together in the same room. And then we just arranged these improvised things into more normal song structures, if you will. So a lot of things on the album are improvised things that we then cut together into full songs. The creative part of the album was now done, but we still have, the mixing and mastering parts of the song. And Sven is a great mixer, and he works a lot in Svenska Gramophone Studio, and it's a studio in Gothenburg in Sweden, where they have one of the old mixing tables that Michael Jackson used. And when he was there, he made a demo mix on one of our songs using only analog gear, and we then compared it to a in the box mix. And both me and the label agreed that all that analog gear gave an extra dimension to the music. So the label decided to cover the costs for going a full weekend to Gothenburg to mix the album. We once again brought the crew. We lived in the studio. We mixed the album. Mainly Sven mixed the album. He's a great mixer. And we finalized everything in Gothenburg during a weekend. So that is the short version of how the album came to be. But the story is not really done yet. Let's go back again to that gig in Finland. Because during that time we also got in contact with an amazing designer called Iines, who at the same time as we started finalizing the album started working on the visual aspect of the album. And her handwriting is all over the project. She's the one who wrote my name on the logo. It looks amazing, and she did the cover art, but also a lot of doodles that you can see spread out on social media to sort of combine the vibe of the album into a visual identity. And then another colleague and friend in the crew, Sok, started creating moving visuals from this that we had during the release party. release party, 6th of September. We threw together a party. We invited friends, family, and it was just a big celebration. It was so much fun. It was a day I will never forget. But before I tell you about the release party, I want to give huge shout outs to everyone who made this possible. So first, huge thanks to Sven for being a great friend and a great collaborator during the creation of this album. And huge thanks to Maria and Nick from Fashion Police Records for believing in this project and supporting and being, really great support, and also coming with great creative ideas as well. And Jesper behind the camera, you don't see him that often, but love working with that dude. And Heili, who has worked with a lot of logistics, but also really helped me dial in the social media strategy around the album release. And of course, Iines, as I mentioned before, have done an amazing job with the designs, and Sok, who made all the visuals move and come to life. Thank you so much. Alright, now let's talk about the release party. We wanted to find a place that wasn't too big, that wasn't too small, and it couldn't be an English pub. An English pub doesn't feel like techno, but there are a lot of English pubs in Stockholm. Don't ask me why, but we wanted to find something else. And we got in contact with a brewery called Television Brewing, who agreed to collaborate with us on the release party. So the release party was in a brewery. It was such a cool environment, and we built a stage, we put lights in the roof, and also Jesper did a really cool black and white documentary style footage from the creation process that we had in the background. Friends came, family came, but also people that followed me on social media or saw our ad for the event showed up just to see me perform live. And honestly, I was not expecting that, but that was so much fun. It really made my day. And people asked me, are you nervous about performing? But I decided early on that day that performance was not about performing to deliver. It was about celebrating and having fun. And boy, did I have fun. It's so amazing. I have one more song for you. It's the final song on the album. It's called Time to Go. Time to break up. Time to go. All right, thank you so much for supporting me, and hope you also got something from listening to the story about album creation. Take care. Peace.